Hello, how's everyone doing? Angelisa here, your host for Throttle Talk Tuesday. And every Tuesday, we interview influential women who are making an impact for other women who are in the snowmobile and dirt bike community. What is going on? Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm so excited to be interviewing Kelsey Faye. Oh my gosh, who else is excited? Let's see those hands up. I know I'm excited. Tonight's live chat is brought to you by CKX Gear. Go check them out, ckxgear.com. And I'm going to bring Kelsey up for you, so I'm going to get up close and personal. And we'll see Kelsey. Oh, there she is. I'm going to send her. How's everyone doing tonight? What's up, Lish? Hey, Steppy.
Oh, shit, we're
Nadia.
good.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So Joey just taped my phone to this like little stand thing, and then you sent me the request, and I couldn't hit it because the tape was on it. So I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Anyway, I'm here now, so this is a win.
Yay! Well, you know what? You are in a cup right now, so
Awesome.
yeah, we got to do what we got to do. Make shift to make these happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. This is
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, for sure. How's your Tuesday going?
Literally like the most hectic Tuesday I think I've ever had. So one of my super awesome sponsors, High Roller, actually went all the way to Edmonton, Alberta, which is in Canada. He got a bunch of my stuff from my dad and my grandpa, and he literally drove it all the way up here, and I can't even explain to you how much of a relief this is. It's been there for 2 years. I haven't been able to go back to Canada almost 2 years now, so getting all my stuff is like so exciting. I got back here like late this afternoon, and I just had like box after box after box, and I've been go trying to like unpack and get all my shit like organized before Joey got home. So yeah, we're happy. I got all my stuff from Canada, so
Wow.
busy and a win.
Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, that's a huge win. So 2 years.
Literally first time I'm sitting down all day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
I'm excited.
So I guess like Christmas came early for you then with all these boxes.
Totally. I even said to Joey, I was like, I don't even need Christmas now. I'm so excited. There's stuff in here that like I don't even remember having. Like, oh man, it's so great. It's just, it makes me so happy having all my stuff. When I crossed for like the last time, I crossed with a backpack. That was it. So
Whoa.
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, when you're like immigrating, you know, you don't go to the border and you're like, hey, I'm immigrating. You're like, hey, I'm going hiking.
Totally.
Right? So
Yes.
yeah, definitely had a backpack. That was it. So it's been pretty hard. Had to like restart, like get a whole bunch of like new stuff. And I mean, that's frustrating, right? Even if you want to like go out for a dinner and you're like, oh my gosh, like I need high heels, but I have like a million pairs sitting at home that I can't get to, you know?
Right.
So little things like that, it's been frustrating. So I'm super pumped to have all my stuff here now finally. Woo!
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
So I think I just saw a post recently. Did you go out sledding? Have you been out yet?
Oh yeah, we've been out quite a bit actually. It's been hit and miss. Definitely catching those bluebird days. I just wish there was a little bit more snow, but you know, can't complain about the bluebird days. So
Totally. And do you have like a rule of thumb? Like, do you like to or prefer to have like a good base, or are you just kind of like, yeah, I'll wing it?
Well, I mean, there's a difference in riders in this household. I don't care what the weather conditions are like. I just want to get out there and go. My husband, on the other hand, is a little bit more picky, so he likes to pick and choose his days, depending on the snow and what the weather's doing. So, you know, we kind of do what he wants to do. So
Totally. Totally. I sound like such a creeper when I say this, but I've been following you on Instagram for a very long time. And you know, like I love that you're sledding, sledder babe. But what actually got me excited is your hair. I'm such
Love
a hair
hair.
nerd. Yeah, I love the purple. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to say that.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
but
Actually, it's funny you say that. I did the live talk with John Ferry, actually around this time last year, and that was a hot topic too. He really liked my hair, and we were trying to talk him into getting a purple wig for himself. So the purple hair seems to be quite the topic.
totally, I love it. I'm a hair girl, so I love
Oh
it.
yeah, I've had it for 8 years now, and I don't plan on going back anytime soon. Mm-mm.
No, no, don't. That's what I know, Kelsey,
Uh-uh.
is
Yes,
purple.
purple.
Um, but I do have to ask, and I know there's a lot of questions about this, but America or Canada?
Oh man. So America or Canada, as in which one I like better, or
Sure. Or
uh,
maybe riding area, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, man, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I love Canada so much. I miss home like you wouldn't believe. I honestly like I married this American and I gave up my whole life and I'm not even gonna lie, I had it going. I loved my job. I loved where I lived. It's the most beautiful place in the world. I miss it like crazy. Would I change it? No, because I mean Joey wouldn't be in my life then. So I mean there's that. As far as riding goes, I mean I lived in the mecca of snowmobiling. Nothing is ever gonna compare to riding Revelstoke and Whistler. Or at least not that I know of, because I haven't really ventured too far around the states to go snowmobiling yet. I've kind of stuck to Washington. I rode Oregon and Idaho, and that's kind of the extent of my riding. So as far as the riding in the states goes versus Canada, Canada's gonna win.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so you talked about Idaho and Oregon. Is there like I guess specific riding areas that you go to more than the other?
I mean, I've definitely been in McCall a lot. We have a lot of friends in McCall, so we definitely go there. And I mean, that has some pretty good snow there, so there's no complaints. It's just honestly like it's totally different. Like it's totally different terrain. It's especially Washington. I have a really hard time with this. So I love the trees. Don't get me wrong, the trees are great, but it's so funny when all of a sudden you can't go to Alpine. Then it's like frustrating. Like even if you want to ride the trees all day because you can't go to Alpine, it makes it like really frustrating. I don't know why, but like in Canada, right? Like back home, like you ride tree line, trees, Alpine, like depending on like the weather and what it's doing here, like you're in the trees all day. Like there's not a lot of Alpine here. So I don't know. I always find myself like, I just like you just want to like see above the trees so bad and there's nothing you can do about it. It drives me nuts.
Right.
So that makes me miss home a lot more. And I mean, like I said, like I love riding the trees. I'll ride the trees all day, but it's just the fact that you can't get above the trees here.
Right.
Nuts. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
interesting you said that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's really different terrain. Joey's been trying really hard to find some like cool places for me to ride. So there is a few places with some Alpine. Makes me feel a little bit more like home. But they're
Right.
like a 3-hour trek. So, you have to put in some hours to go find go
Totally.
make the wife happy, I guess.
Totally.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's big commitment for sure. And so what sled do you ride?
I call her the unicorn. So now that I don't get demo sleds here in the States, back to the unicorn. So it's a 2017 850. She has got some miles on her, but I tell you, she's running like a rape date. Fingers crossed. Joey's got my old demo sled from Canada, so it's newer. And like even he would way rather ride my sled than his sled. I don't know. It's just so set up. It's awesome. I love it. No complaints. She's running like tip top, and I hope she stays that way until I can afford to finance one here. So
Totally. Oh, that's awesome. And actually, I wanted to talk about your sled wrap.
hmm
Because I've seen all of the cuteness and the badassness. Where do you get your inspiration from? Like you change it up every year,
hmm
right?
I'm
But yeah.
you know, it's just kind of how I am. I'm a little bit of a crazy pants. So I always take like a cute, like fictional character. Obviously, like this year, I'm obsessed with Baby Yoda. He's so freaking cute. I watched The Mandalorian, but I couldn't really tell you what's going on in The Mandalorian. I really like to fast forward just to the Baby Yoda parts. But yeah, I'm just absolutely obsessed with him. He's so freaking cute. So I built that wrap based on that this year, but like every year I seem to pick like a fictional character, like the Care Bears, for example. Care Bears are super cute, but then I take them and I kind of like put my own twist on it, you know? So I make like angry Care Bears, or the year before that one I had unicorns because I love unicorns, but I have to make them skeleton unicorns, you know? So I always pick a fictional character that's super, super cute, and I make it kind of like weird and sadistic, kind of like myself, you know?
Totally. And that's what makes like you stand out so much. Like that's just like, again, I don't know you personally, but just it makes you, yeah, stand out amongst
I don't
everyone.
know. It's fun. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think, I mean, keeping like the same wrap for more than a year, like I want to like do something different, you know? Like I have so many ideas every single year. So like, I don't want to rock the same wrap. I want to come up with like something crazier and funnier and better like every single year. And every single year I try and top that. And this year, like I say this every year, but like this is the coolest wrap I've come up with yet. You know what I mean? But I put all of my wraps that I've done so far all into one. I just meshed it together. So I've got Baby Yoda. He's riding a unicorn. The unicorn has tattoos, right? Gotta have those tattoos. Yeah, and then in the back I have the Care Bears, because I did the Care Bears in a previous sled wrap, but I made them like more crazy and more sadistic. Just, I don't know, it's so much fun. Like I just look forward to making a new sled wrap every single year. It's just great.
Oh, that's awesome. How do you find taking off the wrap?
Funny you should say that. Well, I got lucky this last 2 years. Joey's a painter, so he actually has a lot of experience taking off wraps. He has some really cool chemicals that worked really well this year. For the most part, I mean, I've been pretty lucky. I've usually gotten a new sled with every wrap. This is the first one that I've actually had to like wrap a couple times. I bought the 17, and then like I got a couple demos and like wrapped them from there. So this will be I guess this will be the third wrap on this one. I just keep going back to this sled. It's just so peaceful.
So good, hey?
But taking the wraps off is an absolute nightmare. I have tried everything from like, oh man, what was it? One year I think it was lemon essential oils. Who would have thought? But it actually works really well. But yeah, I've Googled like all of the kinds of crazy stuff to take off those wraps because they're a nightmare. And yeah, lemon essential oils was like the best one yet until Joey like brought the special like paint thinner or whatever you want to call it one to take off the wrap. So that was really cool. But
whoa, lemon essential oil. I'll have to.
Who would have thought? Who even like was like, let's try this to take off the sled wrap? And it's so crazy because it works.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, genius.
Yeah.
Essential oils, you need them for everything, right?
That's very true.
Okay,
well, I have to ask this. I love to know, and I know other women love to know, women athletes' workout routines. Do you have one specific for sledding?
Muscle memory.
Okay.
I mean, no, not really. I'm so sporadic, and I'm like always doing something different. I mean, when I was living in Canada, like I worked my whole winter, right? Like I would ride anywhere from 100 to 160 days, you know, and then I take my summer off. So in the summer, I found myself hiking a lot, just doing some like crazy, like 2-3 day hikes, 60, 80 kilometer hikes, just like really, really keeping in shape. I definitely haven't had the opportunity to do that as much here. But I did talk Joey into getting dirt bikes this year, so that was really exciting, but it was a little bit late in the game, I'm not gonna lie. So I got out there this year and I was feeling a little bit tired, maybe a little bit out of shape. Usually when I get back on the sled for winter, I'm feeling pretty good. This year it's with the whole COVID, you know, got a little bit fluffy and
Right.
Been a little bit slower for sure, but usually just, hiking, surfing. Like there's no like regimen for me. I'm so on the go all the time. It's just, yeah, I don't go to the gym. I like to do outdoor stuff. So,
Cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, all of that's a workout in itself, for sure.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Yeah. Just no regimen, no routine. It's kind of just, what are you going to do today?
Right. Yes. And what's your favorite style of riding? You've talked a little bit of trees, but is there like a specific style that you're more stoked on?
I don't know. I mean, I love snowmobiling, like together as a whole. It's amazing. I guess it really depends on who you're riding with, right? Because you're only as good as the people you ride with and surround yourself with. So yeah, really, essentially, it's just who you're riding with that day. Like I said, I love the trees. I absolutely adore, like challenging stuff, jumps, drops, that kind of stuff. It's hard to narrow it down into one. I love it all. But like I said, it all depends on who you're riding with in that day and like what your set out goal is to do, right? Like, are you going to take shots? Or are you just going to like bang through the trees through the day? Weather is a really big factor into that too, right? Like, is it shitty out or is it super sunny? If it's sunny, I want to go send it. If it's super shitty, like let's hug back in the trees. So yeah, it's kind of just a day-to-day thing. I love it all. It all makes me happy. So.
Oh, awesome. And actually, speaking of jumping, I've seen some photos of you jumping and you soar. Oh my gosh. Do you plan on doing more jumps and drops this year?
Yeah, definitely. I would really love to find some features around here again, like new area, right? Like I've been riding back home my whole life. So like you get a good feel for like what's around there. And now it's like learning a whole new area and like trying to like have the eye for that. And like, to be totally honest with you, like I'm not that good at like eyeballing like natural shit. I've always like, I mean, when I first started learning how to jump, I was a jump builder. Like that's all I knew, right? So I looked for like a somewhat flat spot or like something that dropped off and I'd like build it. If there was a tranny, I would build it. But like the natural stuff, like, man, like I still don't have an eye for it. So like I said, like it all depends on who you're riding with, right? So when I go out with the boys, they have an eye for that, or like they know where the hits are and stuff like that. So I really rely on them for that. Otherwise, if I'm just going out and I don't have any jumpers in my group or beginners or whatever, then it's jump building.
Yeah.
So
totally. And I respect that. I respect both like having the eye and building
that's
a
real
jump.
talent.
Yeah. Holy crap. Absolutely. It's like you have to have snowmobile goggles on at all times, like being able to see
legit
all the
special
features.
Goggles for like natural hits. Like
yes.
I give props. Like I'm starting to like find them here and there, but like, man, like some of these guys, like they look at something and they're like, boom, they'll like whip right off of it and you're like, I did not see that. No, I still don't see it, but you just did it and that is awesome.
They're like little bunny rabbits, like hopping off.
Totally. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you talked a little bit about Joey. Would you say that he's your main riding partner, or do you have like a crew where you're living?
100%. He's my main riding partner for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, like moving here, like he's all I knew. Like that's kind of it, right? So I came down here and he was my riding partner, and I just had to, whip him and his buddies into shape so I would feel a little bit more comfortable riding with all of them. But yeah, I mean, man, when Joey and I head out, like that's more than enough for me. Yeah, it's super cool. I would definitely love to meet some more female riders in my area. I have yet to. I mean, there's a few, but like it'd be really cool to find some like cool women who ride and you could just take off and have a girls' day. I miss that kind of stuff.
Totally. I think those are so important. They're like a self-care.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Totally. But snowmobiling.
Totally.
Girls' day snowmobiling.
yes, for sure.
For that.
So sledding, it's one of the hardest sports out there, and I do believe that as women, we face a whole lot of obstacles when we're in the mountains. So what are some of the challenges you face when it comes to sledding, and how do you overcome them?
Yeah, so I actually wrote down some things for this one.
Totally.
So one of the things I used to really struggle with, and I know lots of females struggle with, is like like side hilling in general, you know, I find like doing the right hand side is the less dominant side for a lot of people, not just females. So cutting the bars for me was a really, really big thing to fix that. So Cheetah's been really great. You know, I've been working with Cheetah for a couple years now, or probably 4 or 5 years now, actually, to be honest with you. And they send me prototypes and I play around with the bar. I cut it in the center. What you want is you want your bars to be in line with your shoulders, right? So like when you're on a sled and your arms are forced out, you have no control, right? You've lost all your power out here. So bringing your bars in, I don't know if you can see my shoulders. Yeah. So bringing your bars in, having them in line with your shoulders is so important because it gives you that attack stance. It gives you so much more control. So I highly recommend for all the females out there, look at your bars next time you're standing over top of your sled and see where your shoulders are sitting on your sled, right? If your shoulders are out, you have no control. As soon as your shoulders are in, like, man, those side hills, like that carving, everything is just going to come together so much easier for you. The right-hand side used to be a struggle for me, right? Because it's like, it's less dominant. It's like really awkward. I cut those bars, boom. Now it's like, it's just as easy as the left, right? Like you can switch from right to left and it's effortless. So I think the bar thing is a really, really important thing for the females, making sure that you have a narrow set of bars. Also as well, I think that like, I mean, man, like my riser, like you can't even call it a riser anymore. Like it's like low ride. It might as well be attached to the gas tank at this point. Like it's so low. Joey was riding my sled this weekend and he accidentally like bent my bars back. So they were like practically touching the sled. And I was like, dude, I like this. This is really cool. Cause I have a 1.25 inch riser. And then the bars are like, man, I have like that much room from my bars to like the top of my sled. So like if I was to stick my leg under there, like it'd get crunched. Like that's how low I am on the sled right now. And it's so funny. He rolled my bars back and it made them even lower. And it was so low to the point I was riding it. I was like, I love this. He's like, you can't ride like that. Like, that's crazy. It's dangerous. I went to go turn right and the bars are so low that it like pulled the key off of my sled. So it's like, it might as well be on the gas tank, but I love it. Like the lower, the better. Like it's a lot harder on the trail. Like I find like my back hurts. I'm like, oh my gosh, like just trying to stand up, but you can't. So like you definitely have to ride more aggressively on the trails. But man, as soon as you get into the trees and stuff like that, being that low, you have so much more control, right? Like your whole center of gravity is like right over top of that sled. You have all the control in the world. Whereas like if you're standing up high, and you're not forced to have bent knees, then you're not as much as in control, right? So the lower the better. That's what I say. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things. I think another really important thing for females is that I noticed, so like when I go riding with the boys, the ruts are really, really hard. If you're riding with the boys in the trees, like I'll be totally honest with you. Like I've been riding for years, man, when I hit those ruts, they throw me around like a rag doll. So, I mean, one tip of advice I give the female riders out there is make your own line. Don't be scared to make your own line. You just got to look ahead. Don't look down, look ahead, find your line. Don't even worry about where they're going. You'll figure it out. You'll all meet up, eventually, but make your own line. I think that is so important because trying to follow boys' line, like their ruts, I mean, they can dig like a 10-foot trench, and then you get the shitty end of the stick. So make your own line or go first, or you know what I mean? Just try and stay out of those trenches. I think that's really important. I mean, yeah, I can't even do the trenches, like they throw me around. It's not fun. It sucks. I mean, then you get stuck. So yeah, I think that's a really big one. Let me see here. Other than that, I mean, to all the female riders out there, just be super confident in yourself. I mean, I ride with all the boys and like, I've been getting this for years. Like the first time out riding with a whole bunch of boys, Joey and all of his buddies came to Revelstoke. And this was my first time like meeting all of his friends, and we went riding and like they kind of like they looked at me and they're like, yeah, okay, like Joey talks her up, but like how good can she really ride? Like I've always kind of like gotten that. So honestly, just don't listen to the boys. Like little negative Nancy's like just go out there, be confident, show that you can own it, show that you can do it, and do it better than them. that's really what it's about. You just got to outdo the boys, right?
Totally.
I'm totally kidding. It's about having fun, but be super confident and just don't let them make you nervous. You know, just go out there and own it.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, this is so valuable. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I know everyone else is appreciating this.
Awesome. Good.
How I have to ask, how tall are you?
How short am I? Yeah, so I'm sitting right around 5'2". I would like to round and say 5'2.5", but unfortunately, as we get older, we start to shrink, and I notice that. So
Yes.
right around the 5'2".
Okay, I'm 5'0". So
oh my gosh,
yeah,
you're so little. That's crazy.
So I actually do ride a 1¼ inch rise.
Yes.
And yeah, I know, but it's one of those things where actually when I would turn the handlebars, my brake lever is actually like scratching my wrap,
right?
Because it's so low. But
yeah,
I love it.
I almost wanna write a letter to Skidoo and like ask them if they can like move the key area on the Skidoo. Like if they can just get that away so that I can get lower, that would be great. And,
Totally.
and like the heater button that I never ever use, you know, that one, like that can go too. If they can just clear off the surface so we can get lower, that would be better.
Yes, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah. I love it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how about some wins? Was there a season that really that you're really stoked on that stuck out for you? Maybe it's a new trick or a moment that you want to relive while sledding.
I mean, the biggest season that stuck out to me is so the year I lost my mom, I went out and I just destructo. Like I think that was the first year I got 160, 170 days. I just went out there and I just rode every single day. I mean, not gonna lie, I was a little bit reckless back then. Probably didn't make the best decisions, like wasn't the safest by any means, but that's the one season that sticks out to me the most. Just because, I mean, the amount of days that I got, the amount of like different people that I got to ride with, the amount of knowledge and new things that I got to learn. And I mean, that was also the year that I started jumping. And with that being said, so I started jumping and I went way too big, way too fast. You know, like I would hit a jump and I was like, oh, I want to go bigger. I want to go farther. Like I just, you know, I didn't have that like pause button. And I got away with it that year. I did. I went really, really big and really, really far, and nothing was big enough or far enough or whatever. And by doing so, I didn't learn the fundamentals of jumping, right? So like when you're floating through the air, like if your nose heavy or if your tail heavy, like what do you need to do for that, right? I didn't learn those fundamentals. I got away with it that year, but then I came back the next season and I was like super, I mean, I wouldn't say cocky, but I was like, yeah, let's do this, you know? And then like things just didn't go right that year. Like I'd hit the lip wrong or something like that. It'd come off and I got my ass spanked. I started wearing a mouth guard because put my teeth through my lips a few times, broke my nose, smashed my face, like just everything off those bars, you know. And like that's the really important part about jumping is taking it slow and progressing slowly so you learn the important things. I mean, yeah, I learned by mistake, I guess. I mean, yeah, just everybody's so eager to like get out there and like just learn how to jump and then go as big as they can. And you just need to pause for a second and rewind and take a breath and like try and understand the fundamentals of jumping and like what to do when you're in the air and how to float. And like, if this goes wrong, what do I need to do? You know, I mean, that was one thing I never learned, and then I learned the hard way.
Wow.
So, but that was a really, really big year for me, not only for just like losing a really important person in my life, but then like the amount of people that I met that year and the amount of places I got to travel and the amount of skill sets that I learned. Like as shitty as that part was, it was really cool, and that's the one season that sticks out to me the most.
Oh, awesome. Oh, I love it. And do you, sorry, lost track here.
No, you're all good. All good.
Okay, let's chat future Kelsey. What do you plan on doing more this season? Since like COVID's kind of weird, crazy. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into politics there.
Yeah, no. But yeah, what do you plan on doing this season?
So I was an avalanche instructor in Canada, and that was my passion. I loved it so much. It was really cool. Somebody seen me, like I was saying, that reckless year. Somebody actually seen me. They seen what I was doing. Like, they knew exactly what was actually happening, like, you know, in the back. And they took me, and essentially they rescued me. They showed me this really cool side to snowmobiling, which was the avalanche safety. And I don't know, it was just a really big experience for me. It was super cool. I loved it. I went from being that person, that statistic, to being on the entirely opposite side of the spectrum. You know, all of a sudden I was like, holy crap, like, I know nothing. I'm running around like a crazy person out on the mountain. Not only am I putting my own life in jeopardy, but I'm putting everybody else's life in jeopardy. And so that said person taught me all about avalanche safety and got me into being my very own instructor. And I loved it. And I loved it so much that I'm just not willing to give it up. So here I am in the States. And I'm trying to like rekindle that. I want to get back into avalanche instruction. So I have some really great people out here helping me do that. I actually just won a scholarship for the instructor training course in Jackson. It starts on the 4th. So I'm super, super pumped about that, because that's sending me in the right direction, getting back on track to where I used to be, but now doing it here. One, I'm really excited to like learn a different way, right? Like, Canada does it one way, they do another. Obviously, like, they're similar, but like, I'm excited to get all of that knowledge. I mean, every time I go out there and I go to school, like, I always feel like I haven't learned enough. Like, I need more. Like, it's just, man, snow science and like just getting your head in the snow. It's like, I'm just like a little nerd over here, but I love it. And I love learning. So I'm really excited to get back on track and start being able to teach here in the States. So that's my biggest goal. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And that starts soon. That starts in a couple weeks.
Yeah, really soon. Really soon.
So with COVID protocols, are you doing it online, or is this like, do you have to actually go?
Yeah, so it's definitely gonna be like outdoors, right? So bring your snowmobile, like ride around, like they're gonna go over everything with you. But for the classroom work, it's I guess it's gonna be done on Zoom. Okay. I just figured this out last night, which is funny, because I thought we were gonna sit in a classroom like what I'm used to, but we're not now. So so now I have to learn computers because technology repels me. So this should be interesting.
There you go.
Yeah, never heard of Zoom, so yeah, gotta learn that one.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I actually just saw on my phone on apps that Zoom is like the #1 app for the year for 2020. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, I had no idea. No
idea. So funny. Okay, so so with your goals, my next question, do you have any goals for this up and coming season? And it's to be an avalanche instructor. Mm-hmm. But do you have any other personal goals for sledding?
I would really like to get the reentry down. That's a big one. So I had that aha moment, but it just like really sucked. I was definitely like starting to get into the reentries, and the person that was helping me was like, yeah, you just gotta turn your head and look, right? But I mean, as soon as like you're going up the face of their sled, you're like, oh shit. And it was kind of like one of those moments, and the sled landed on top of me, and like it crunched me pretty good. I mean, those things are heavy, so you know, I kind of was just like, you know, like I guess my biggest fear about like trying these new things is I don't want to ruin my season. So like I was a little bit timid for a couple years. I talked to Joey, like he kind of learned how to do it last year, so I really want to work with him this year, and like we'll just go out there and like just help each other out, and I want to figure this shit out without being scared. So I'm gonna do it.
Totally.
But yeah, it might take a while.
For sure. Practice makes perfect.
Totally. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Where can we follow you and your journey this season as an athlete?
You can follow me on my Instagram page at Kelsey.
Okay, cool.
Other than that, I don't know, I'm not too much of a Facebook person anymore. I mean, I just kind of like upload my shit, but that's about it. I just got the Instagram.
Yeah. I find with Instagram, you just like hit the Facebook one, and it just sends all your
Yeah,
Instagram
that's
stuff.
all I do. Just send it there. Don't even go on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So would you say you put a lot of pressure on yourself when it comes to filming or getting shots for your sponsors?
Yeah. So that's like that's an entirely different aspect of things. And I'm gonna be totally honest with you. It's I don't know, it's not as fun as you think it's gonna be, right? Like I miss those days when I just like used to go out and ride and just like enjoy my day. And don't get me wrong, I still do that, but I mean shooting is fun, filming is so much fun. It is, but it's a different kind of fun, right? Like the pressure is definitely on you, and I let the pressure get to me. Like, man, I've sat there and like just straight up cried because there's so much pressure and I just can't do it. You know, like I mean that side of things is an entirely different ball game. It's stressful. You feel like you really have to do something, you know, like especially when the camera comes out. I mean, I've definitely had it. The cameras come out. I was filming for Sledding one year. I did this huge drop and like, you know, like I was so nervous that the camera was out and I was like, I have to do this. Like, I'm not ready to do this, but I have to do this because the camera's out. And man, I kid you not, I swear I could have broken my neck if I didn't whiskey throttle out of it. Like it was so bad, like just this huge drop, and I literally landed on my skis. My track wasn't even touching the snow, and I just grabbed like a handful of throttle, and it took me through it. But you know, like it's just such a different ball game, you know, like the camera comes out and you kind of lose all of that. It just goes poof, bye. So yeah, I don't know, it's a different game for sure. I mean, it's still fun. Like I love going out and getting shots and focusing on like, okay, I'm gonna do this for today, or like I want to go find like this certain aspect and get a shot here. But then you're also like, that's your mentality, like you're aiming to go get shots for the day rather than, oh yeah, I just want to go ride and have fun. I mean, it's still fun, but you know what I mean? It's just it's a different world. It's a different part of snowmobiling. Still fun, just different.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And what advice would you give to young Kelsey, who was first starting out as a woman sledder?
Slow down, enjoy snowmobiling, quit trying to be somebody, you know, just take the time to learn, just take it all in, enjoy those days, you know, quit trying to rush. I have lots of girls message me all the time, you know, and they're asking like, how do you become somebody in this industry? How do you get into the industry? And my advice for them is just enjoy sledding. Honestly, I'm telling you, just enjoy sledding. And I mean, yeah, of course, like support your fellow riders and stuff like that and work together as a team. But I can't stress enough, just slow down and enjoy the moments. Quit worrying so much about pulling the phone out or pulling the camera out. And like I'm calling the kettle black right now because I do it, but that's like how I've been molded now. You know what I mean? Like just, yeah, I would tell myself to slow down. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy the time with your friends, and quit worrying so much about that side of things.
Yes. Love it. Awesome. You did say this a little bit, but any advice you'd like to give to women who are getting into the sport?
Reach out to other females. Don't be afraid to ask advice. I mean, yeah, it's such a male dominant sport. So I mean, like I'm totally pumped on like other women riders getting out there. I think it's so great. Don't be afraid, and also don't learn from your boyfriend. Learn from another girl. I find so often I'll go out riding with like a group of people, and like the guy will bring his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, and like I feel so bad. Like you just see the stress building because it's that relationship status, you know, or from like their dad or somebody, like, you know what I mean? Like the guy girl thing, like it just doesn't work. It really doesn't, because like you get like all that frustration and then like the guy gets frustrated at the girl and the girl just gets frustrated and they feel like they can't do it. And it's like, just find a solid group of girls or like reach out and like ask a female in the sport. Like I've been talking to girls, there's a few girls that message me and I'm like, man, like come down here and I'll take you riding. Like don't pay me, like let's just go out and have fun. Like it's you know, it's not about that, it's about having fun. And I love teaching so much. I'm willing to like just just reach out and ask a female rider, you know, like get in on that girl train and yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Love it. Thank you so much. A quote you live by.
I have lived life to the fullest. I live by that. I got that tattooed on my foot when I was 14, believe it or not.
Wow.
Or live the life you love and love the life you live. That's also tattooed on me. So
Awesome. Love it. And I have a couple questions.
When can I come back to Canada?
Yes, they're all it's all about Canada. Yeah, basically that. When are you gonna ride with us? When are you gonna come back to Canada?
Gosh, the $1 million question, if I knew. Honestly, this immigration thing, it's really hard. I definitely didn't think it was gonna take this long. Unfortunately, due to COVID, it's really thrown a damper on my immigration. So my immigration process is completely on hold right now. It's not moving forward. It's not moving backwards. It's just, there's no immigration stuff, paperwork going on at this time. So honestly, I'm a sitting duck at this point. I can't cross right now. I mean, I have a work visa. I have a travel visa. It says that you can travel, but it's like one of those things, you can go, but are they going to let you back in? So ultimately, it's not worth it for me. I'd rather just wait for my residency. So, you know, it sucks. I want to know the answer to that question too. I really do.
For sure.
It's been a hard one for sure.
And then I have one from maybe Jay George. Do you watch The Mandalorian just to see Baby Yoda, or do you actually love Star Wars?
I totally just watch it for Baby Yoda, 100%. I wouldn't have even, nope, wouldn't have been my thing, nope, but I saw Baby Yoda and I was like, yep.
Aw, awesome. I'm going to open up the questions to everyone else, so I'm just going to get up close and personal here and scroll to the top, and we'll just go through and see if there's any comments or questions.
Mostly about Canada.
Yes. Ira says, hey girls, what's up? Nadia says, hi girls. Kelsey is just the cutest. She is.
I try.
She's a babe.
Thank you.
Eastern Oregon is the bomb. Have you been? Is that where McCall is?
Oregon. Baker City.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we went. So that's the only place I've ridden in Oregon.
All right. Hey, what's going on? Amy. Another question from TW777. How long did it take you to jump as high as you do? What kind of special protective gear do you wear when you're ascending it large?
That's a good question.
Very
good. So kind of how I touched on, honestly, the biggest I've ever gone was the first year. So the first year that I didn't know what I was doing, I just wanted to go bigger. I wanted to go farther. So there was that, but like I said, the next year I got my ass spanked, right? I learned the hard way. So now I wear a mouth guard. I highly recommend, I didn't know this before, go to your dentist. They will actually make you a mouth guard rather than buying those cheap ones, that you put in the pot of boiling water and then you mold to your teeth. Yeah, no bueno. Go to your dentist. They'll make you an actual mouth guard that fits your teeth. You can actually talk. It's so tight to your mouth or your teeth that you don't have this huge bulge and you can't talk to anybody. I can put it in my mouth and talk perfectly fine with anybody. So mouth guard is one of the biggest things that I jump with. I actually almost wear it all the time. It's just a little bit more comfort when teeth are expensive. If you smash your face, the mouth guard is just so simple, and it's $60 and they warranty it for I think it's they guarantee it protects up to $60,000 worth of damage. So I think that's really important. Teeth are nice. I'd like to keep mine. So mouth guard, neck brace is an absolute must. I definitely wear a neck brace. I have actually smashed my face and come off my sled so hard that I have broke my neck brace. I can't imagine what it would have been like if I didn't have a neck brace. So that's super important. I wear a Liette chest protector. It's actually really cool, and I would recommend this for the female riders out there. It's by Liette, and it's crazy. It's like a t-shirt. Like you don't even notice it. Like you throw on this t-shirt. Like obviously it's a little bit harder in the chest area, but it only goes hard on impact. So it's really cool. So like it doesn't like restrict your mobility. It's pretty much just a t-shirt until you hit that hard impact, and then it like goes really hard. It protects you. It's crazy. I love the technology nowadays, but
Totally.
yeah, chest protector, mouth guard, neck brace for sure. I think visibility is a really key one. The boys, you know, they just do things. They do what they do, but I highly recommend visibility. I think that's a really important one, so you can see your takeoff and your landing. Seeing that landing is really important. So yeah, visibility is a key one. Oh, knee pads. Definitely, I wear knee pads. I can't imagine riding without knee pads.
Right.
So I think I covered it all.
Awesome. And then from Nathan, he asks, how is the avalanche training going, and when do you start doing classes?
Yeah, so I haven't been able to take any courses yet. I mean, it's still super early, but like I said, my instructor training course it starts on the 4th of January in Jackson, Wyoming. I'm really excited. I've never been to Jackson, Wyoming before, so I'm excited to learn some new terrain. And pretty much it's a course to teach you how to be an instructor, you know. So I think that's a really cool course. It's not something that I had back home. Back home in Canada, it was kind of just mentorship. So I'm really excited to take a course on learning how to teach. It'll be neat. So
Totally.
yeah.
Awesome. Steffi Schwartz, she
Yeah.
says,
She's awesome. Oh, I just love her. She's just the best.
she is. She
She's
says
so supportive. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay.
She's so supportive in like the woman industry, and honestly, I mean, women, you know, like hit and miss, you know, some are super supportive, some are not so much. And Steph is she's so incredible. She's so great. She's, you know, she has her own thing going on, but she'll go and support your business as well, you know, like she just wants to see women do good in the sport. So I love that girl. She's awesome.
Oh, she's been so great. She's inspiring. Love her. She says, this little Spitfire is a wealth of knowledge on multiple levels. I so agree. Can't wait until she comes back to Canada to shred. We may have something up our sleeve. Ooh.
Yes, we've definitely been talking. I'm so excited. Oh, I wish I could go back now, but hopefully by the time COVID is over and everything's all back to normal, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to come out with something exciting.
Awesome. Taylor Ann, she says, you're the bomb, Kels. I love you and can't wait to meet up in BC when you can come back.
Yes, hopefully sooner than later. I'm totally in.
Ira asks, who is your favorite snowmobile rider? Ooh, this is a good one.
So, I mean, Steph, she's super amazing. I haven't, to be totally honest with you, I haven't had like too much of an opportunity to ride with her. I love her to death, but I you know, like we've always seen each other like on the you know, at the sled shows and stuff like that, and passing and stuff. I've never really had too much of an opportunity to just like go out and like shred pow with her. She's definitely super awesome in the women industry. Nadine, I've ridden with Nadine Overwater quite a few times. Man, I love her. She's so cool. I mean, she does things better than boys, and I love that. It's great. Yeah, there's lots of like really good women riders out there. Steph, Nadine, Shelly Ferguson is another one. She's super awesome, dominating in the sport for women. Ashley Chaffin, I love Ashley. Yeah, those are some of the girls that I definitely ride with when I go home, and I love them, and they're so talented.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Ditch Bitch 13. Would you plan? Love it. Would you plan on an all ladies ride whenever you do make it back to Canada?
I definitely I have something in the mix for sure. I would love that. I love the ladies rides. I love helping. Honestly, like if I can ever get back to Canada, just shoot me a message. I'd love to go and ride. I love helping the ladies. So I'm in whenever. I'm in whenever you're in.
Aw, awesome. Taylor Ann, she says, from Ontario, I was an OMAA watercross pacer. Any advice transitions from open water to the mountains? I'm super nervous.
Boy, I don't know too much about the sport that she's referring to.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, everything is different, right? Like I'm gonna use dirt biking and then snowmobiling because I don't know the water side of things. But going from dirt biking to snowmobiling, two entirely different things, right? Like it gives you like that like balance and stuff like that. But other than that, I think they're entirely different. So advice, honestly, just don't worry about getting out there and crushing it. Take the time that you need to learn and ride with the right people. Make sure that you get that avalanche education though. I think that is absolute key and important, and know who you're riding with. Don't ride with people who are gonna take you out into the middle of the backcountry and you have no idea what the hell you're doing. You know, like you definitely wanna know who you're riding with and know that they're gonna look out for you and take care of you. And honestly, like I said, just slow your roll and focus on learning and not so much about just going out there and crushing it. Take the time to learn and enjoy it.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Creature03, thank you so much for all your knowledge. Feel more confident just from listening.
Oh, yeah, that makes me so happy.
Bree Brooks 01, will you plan a ladies' ride in Washington? If so, I would love to go.
I'm actually in the works of trying to do it. So I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it is. So I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to figure something out for this season. That's definitely a big goal of mine. I would love to do a women's riding clinic here. It's more or less just like this whole like immigration thing and legalities, and like Joey would have to open the business up because I can't yet, just like because I don't have my residency. So like there's some like complicated things there for sure. I'm hoping to do one this year. Fingers crossed. If not, I mean, we should have this all dialed in by next year at least, but really hoping for this year. I'd love that. At the very least, maybe I can organize one at the end of the year and we'll just all head out and borrow some land. I don't know.
Totally. Spring riding. Maybe things will die
Yeah.
down by then for sure.
Yeah.
GGB Exhaust giving us an applause. Sparrow Scott, ladies, woo. Airy steeping up with the curriculum to improve motorized education. Sometimes it's hard for me to read all of these.
Was that a question?
I don't think so. I think it was a
okay.
comment.
Okay, I was like, wait, what was the question?
Doing one of these.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, that's all that I have.
Okay. Awesome.
Sam Stuzik. She says, how's the 1.25 inch riser going? I got the 2-inch and I love it.
Sam Stutzky. Hi, lady. Hope all is well. I love the 1.25. It's the coolest thing ever. Like I said, we shouldn't even be calling them risers at this point. If I could mail my handlebars to my gas tank, I would. So the lower the better, ladies. I love it. Get in that power stance. Make sure you're bending your knees. If your legs are straight when you're riding, get those knees bent. So the lower riser forces you to get down low.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in and asking all your questions and commenting. I appreciate it. Thank you, Kelsey, for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so fun.
Yeah, this was so much fun. You're a breath of fresh air, and I had so much fun on this and getting to know you a little bit more and actually like meeting you. It's been so great. Oh, I had just one more. Shanessa Gosling. She says, really, lower the better. Good to know.
Yeah, crouching tiger stance. Think of it that way. You want your center of gravity over your sled, right? You want to be in that power stance, you know, like just bending your knees, getting over that sled, being in control. You ride the sled. It doesn't ride you.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much.
Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon, Kelsey.
Sounds good.
Okay,
bye.
bye.
Thank you.